And welcome into a special edition Blue Streaks Halftime Show interview. I'm your sports director, Logan Petoskey, and joining us here in the studio is a very special guest. She is a forward on the John Carroll women's basketball team. It's my pleasure to introduce freshman Ava Ryncarz. Ava, thanks so much for stopping in.
Yep, thanks for having me on.
For sure. So before we kind of talk about the beginning of your collegiate experience, just going to reflect real quick on your high school experience. You were able to play here in the Northeast Ohio area at Aurora, and a quite successful career, I would have to say. You were third team All-Ohio last year. You were the Suburban League Player of the Year as well. And in your senior year, averaged nearly 20 points per game. So some high-quality basketball here in the area. What ultimately made you decide that John Carroll was the right fit?
Yeah, so when I came to John Carroll the first time, obviously it being close to home, that kind of attracted me here to look at it. And then when I came here on campus, I really just loved the atmosphere and kind of just the feel, like the close feel of everyone. And then obviously the athletics themselves are very good here too. So it just, everything seemed to fit well.
So it sounds like a close connection even before you officially committed.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. And speaking of yourself, so you are one of 7 freshmen on the women's hoops team this year. Lots of graduate students, seniors graduating from last year's squad. You've played in every game this season. The first 22 games, you've started 20 of them, so a significant role early in your college career. How has the transition been, maybe not just for you, even for all the freshmen as a group, from high school to college?
I honestly think it's been a pretty smooth transition. There being 7 of us, I think we've really all bonded together and kind of are going through this together. But it's been helpful to have the upperclassmen really welcoming us in and just making an easy transition. And we're all learning together, so it does make it easier.
And any differences, perhaps in terms of the play style, like on the floor, or is that just kind of like the chemistry being formed as the season goes along?
The chemistry definitely is going as the season goes along, but I think the play style, compared to high school and this, I would say college is obviously faster, but I think we've transitioned pretty well as a team, so.
And certainly seem to have, and just have to say again, very young squad that you guys have. Currently 11-11 through your first 22 games, 6-9 in conference play. You have been on a 3-game losing streak, but 3 very competitive games against tough teams in Marietta, Otterbein, and Ohio Northern. What does a team need to do, because you are still in the hunt for potentially that 5th or 6th seed heading into the conference tournament, what does the team need to do to make a push at the end of the regular season to head into the OAC tournament?
Yeah, so I think we're heading in the right direction. It's really just going to take us focusing in, and obviously we are on a 3-game losing streak, but those are not that, if there's such thing as a good loss, those are against good teams, and we proved that we can really hang with anyone. So I really do think we're heading in the right direction, and it's just going to come down to whether we can finish off the game strong. We've put together some good quarters. It's just about putting it all together in the end to make it work.
Exactly, and like you mentioned, facing competitive teams, that Ohio Northern team, 10th in the nation when you played them this past Saturday. You guys had the lead through the first 3 quarters, so definitely playing some good basketball against high-quality opponents. So through 22 games yourself, just talking about your season personally, currently ranked 3rd on the team with 9 points per game and averaging over 5 rebounds per game. You're also in the top 3 in the OAC in terms of three-point percentage, over 41% this season. What has been working well for you so far this season?
I really do think it's a matter of just over the season as time's gone on. I think as a team we've been moving the ball much better and everyone's getting involved, which has allowed for me to get these shots open. And every time I shoot the ball, I just shoot it confidently and just, that putting those 2 things together really has helped me be successful.
And speaking of those 3-pointers, you've matched your career high in 3-pointers made each of your last 3 games. You've made 4 threes in each of your last 3. How have you been able to succeed really from behind the arc specifically?
So I think it's really just been kind of the flow of the game with those are the shots that have been open for me. But in the past games, whether it's either driving or shooting, I think it's just really what the game's given me, and I just take what is there. So if the shot's open, like I said, I'm just going to shoot it confidently and do whatever I can to help the team win. So
taking what the defense gives you, that's certainly been working out for you this season. John Carroll women's basketball forward Ava Ryncarz is our guest on the Blue Streaks halftime show. So we talked quite a bit about your play on the basketball court. Just going to venture away from the hardwood a little bit here, talking about life off of the basketball court. So you're currently a freshman early on in your collegiate career, pursuing a degree in adolescent young adult education. I know it's very early on, but any particular plans that you might have in mind right now for after college?
Yeah, right now I plan on going to be either middle school or high school teacher, teaching math. That's something I've always loved growing up. I've just been kind of good at it, and just it kind of sparked my interest. And being a teacher, I think I really like helping people, and I think being a teacher really gives me the chance to kind of impact a lot of people's lives. So
that's great. That giving back to others aspect, certainly something John Carroll prides itself on. I know one of the seniors on your team, Jalen Hoffman, is a mathematics major, and I know you talked about teaching math. Is that ever a topic of discussion?
I actually haven't talked to her much about it, but I guess on the team there's really no one else, I don't think, with an education major, so I'm kind of standing alone, but I still talk to them about it sometimes. So
there you go. Well, that's good. And what do you enjoy doing when you're not on the basketball court?
I would say here at John Carroll, I really spend a lot of time with my friends, the basketball players and other friends too. And I just kind of obviously busy schedule with school and everything, but I really just, I don't know, it's my free time. Wherever it takes me, I don't know, usually hanging out with friends though. But also going sporting other teams at John Carroll, which is a big thing here, sporting streaks. So yeah, I usually do that as well. Took
the words right out of my mouth. Supporting streaks. That's great. I know certainly for a lot of the men's basketball games, you guys are packing the bleachers, watching them succeed, and they're certainly doing the same for you as well. That's a great relationship that the two teams have. And sounds like the bonding off the floor with the team has been going very well.
Yeah, I would say, we like to say we travel in a pack. Some people are always together, so we really do have a strong bond as a team.
Well, that's great to have, especially if you want the team to succeed, and you guys have had your share of success so far this season. So that's really talking about life off of the basketball court, and just going to kind of venture into our final segment here. I do want to thank you once again, Ava, for being with us for this interview. I call it Fast Favorite. So every interview that I do, it's just 5 categories. You just try to give me your favorite for each.
All right. Let's do it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Firstly, what is your favorite food?
Ooh, I would have to say steak. I like a nice steak. That's, yeah.
I've been hearing that for both teams pretty often this season, so perhaps maybe like a steak dinner, both teams?
Yeah, after a game, sometimes a steak really hits different, so.
There you go. Favorite show?
Show. Oof, that's a tough one. Recently, I'm excited for Outer Banks. There's a new season coming out, so that's definitely one of my tops, but, yeah, I guess I would just have to go with Outer Banks. I don't know. That's a tough one. There's a lot of good ones.
Alrighty. Favorite movie?
Oof. I'm a Disney fiend. I like Disney movies. I would say my favorite movie is Cars. That's an old one, but that's one of my faves.
There you go. Favorite music artist?
Ooh, probably Morgan Wallen. I'm a big country girl. I like country music. So
is that in the pregame mix at all, or is that kind of like just chilling?
There's a few country songs in the pregame mix, but I guess it's a little bit different for basketball. I do change it up for that. So
there you go. So probably more like that cool down post game type of deal. Mm-hmm. There you go. And finally, your favorite all-time basketball player?
Ooh, probably LeBron James. Yeah. Just now, he's not in Cleveland anymore, but when he was in Cleveland, that was who I looked to, so yeah.
Certainly a lot of Northeast Ohio fans would have to agree with you there. And how about the success he's had? 38 years old and just recently became the all-time regular season leading scorer.
It's only a matter of time for that one, yeah.
You certainly have to think so in his 20th season. Yep. And again, he's out in Los Angeles with the Lakers. But plenty of great memories in Cleveland, including that 2016 championship. Yes. So, Ava, that's just about going to do it. Thank you so much again for taking the time to be with us, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you very much.
Absolutely. That was John Carroll women's basketball forward Ava Ryncarz here on the Blue Streaks Halftime Show, and coming up, the rest of tonight's coverage of our matchup between your John Carroll Blue Streaks and the Heidelberg Student Princes, right here on your home for the Blue Streaks, WJCU.org.